else who is joining in right about now. You're in YouTube and Facebook land, and I just want to say, hi, how you guys doing? I got a couple cool announcements coming up, and I wanted to hang out with you and answer some questions, any questions that you guys might have. So, some of the things that I'm pretty fired up about. Last night, I got to go to a party. So a lot of you know that my wife is a stunt woman, and she's got a bunch of best friends who are like really involved in social media, and uh, it's so cool every time I get to go to one of those parties because I don't know all of them that well, but they're all building their own businesses online. They all have these massive like Instagram and Facebook followings, and every single one of them is literally like building a business online, and they're doctors and physical therapists, and they're all like just super cool people. And so every time I go and I hang out with Janelle's best friend, my wife, uh, I get these crazy awesome ideas and answers from people. So I kind of wanted to start just by saying, like, if you haven't surrounded yourself by people who are doing what you're doing and doing it better, go ahead and find those people and just open up a conversation because a lot of it's been inspiring me lately. And I don't know if you've been around, but I'm announcing it. I'm starting 2 podcasts this week, which I think is pretty aggressive. But one of the podcasts is going to be, of course, Volley Chat Get Better at Beach Volleyball, where we're going to talk specifically about getting better at beach volleyball. Everything that we've learned, everything that players learn, coaches, going through that. So that's going to be starting this week. Me and Brandon are going to do the first few episodes together and just talk about skill, strategy, technique, our paths. And then the other one that I am doing personally is going to be called Entreprenathlete, which we're just going to have discussions with athletes who have turned their sport and their passion into a business. You know, like I didn't know that I'd be working in beach volleyball. I thought I would be playing in it. And now I'm doing both. And the process, the adventure has been pretty sweet. It's been pretty fun. We got hats to prove that I've been here. But I want to have conversations with a bunch of other people who have been along that path and who are probably doing it better and keep learning from them. And I think if we bring that back to volleyball, which right now I'm like broadcasting across volleyball channels, if we bring that back to volleyball, you should be hanging out with people who are doing things better than you and who are interested in improving. And I know that's tough for a lot of you because you end up going to a court. A lot of the people that follow me and my channels and Better at Beach, you guys are the types of people who really, really want to improve. You really want to get better. And then you end up on a court where everybody just wants to play. And they say that they want to get better, but their actions in no way prove that, right? Like people don't drill, they don't spend time fixing things. They just get obsessed with, well, let's just play, let's just play. And playing is fun. That's why we do play volleyball. But I think if you're here, if you're my type of person, you're looking at improving and you're looking at getting better. And I know that it can be tough to seek out people who want to improve, but there are certain steps that you can take. So I'll share a couple of steps that you can take, and I know it's been successful already with the players that I've worked with. So one of the best things that you can do if you're in an area where people are not interested in training is start a WhatsApp group. Start a WhatsApp group or a Facebook group. If you start a WhatsApp group or a Facebook group, then you can control entry. And all you say is, this is for the purpose of people who want to practice beach volleyball or practice volleyball. It's you label the title of the group training group, right? Be like Oshkosh, Wisconsin beach volleyball training group. And you'll start attracting a different level, a different type of person, people who are actually interested in getting better. And then the people who organize that groups, you're going to find out that people are going to start looking to you for answers just because you organize those groups, but you don't have to be the coach, right? When you develop a group and when you have a segment of players that want to get better, there will eventually be some coaches that find you. Like I know that this is happening in San Francisco. We got a bunch of cool fans and friends up there who they've taken it upon themselves after they came to our camps. They took it upon themselves to start coaching in San Francisco. And now they're bringing coaches there. They didn't really know how to coach. They knew the basics of beach volleyball. They knew what we taught, and they brought that to their teams and to the members in San Francisco. And now they developed such a community and such a cool vibe every weekend where there's just a ton of beginners and intermediate players all trying to get better, that now coaches need to go there. It's like a smart idea for us to go. So we're going to be going up to San Francisco, hopefully really soon as Rom gets back to me. And that's probably my main lesson for you guys right now is if you want to get better, you have to build that. You have to build the community, and it's not hard. It's really not hard. If you feel like there's no one around you who wants to get reps, who wants to spend like 45 minutes just training or getting reps, I just want you to put out a post right now on Facebook or on Instagram. Hey, is anybody interested in working on setting, working on attacking for 1 hour a week? Once they all say me, then you choose who you want to put into that WhatsApp group or into that Facebook group. And then you say, find other people who want to do this, who want to get better, who want to rep it out. And pretty soon you'll be having the community that you want. It takes a lot of energy to be a community builder. It takes people looking at you and blaming you and expecting things of you. But if you want to build that community where you can improve, where you surround yourself by people who are improving, then go ahead and do that. So work on building that community. Absolutely. Kindergarten to adult. Now, I'm going to ask you guys if you have any questions about community building, about how you should start getting better, about what you can do, because I know that there are ways to contact coaches. I know that there are ways to contact programs. We go around the country, we do clinics, we run these beach volleyball vacations. So I do want to ask you if you have questions about what you should do in practice, how you should build those practices, or how to get players to your practice. And if you have those questions, I'm here to answer them, and I'd like to hang out with you for a little bit. So let me know if you got any of those questions and you're interested in building a community around you, or maybe we'll just do it like this, right? Because that's kind of open-ended. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you guys where you're from. So if you're watching right now, I just want to know where you're from. And then after you write your city, your state, your country, write down if you have a dedicated training group, not a playing group, not people who you meet up with and you just do KOB, but write down your city, write down your country, your state, and then yes or no, do you guys have your own training group as opposed to just a playing group? I'd like to hear from that because I know that there are a bunch of good training groups and kind of level specific groups here in Hermosa Beach, but there was an active hand in building those. So, T20's Grunt. Love all the videos you guys put out. You broke a toe. Oh no. Good exercises or practices you can do with a gimp foot. If you broke your toe, don't keep pushing your toe. Go to your physical therapist, right? Start when your toe is healed, start doing those exercises necessary. However, just because you have a broken toe does not mean that you should stop training in some way. Now is your chance to get mobile. Now is your chance to open your shoulders. Now is your chance to develop your one-legged strength on the other foot. Because if you start developing that strength, what your body does naturally is the other side, the weakened side, catches up faster. So just because you got one side broken, don't stop on the other side. The broken side will come back faster and it will catch up quicker if you maintain that level of fitness on the other side. So if you got that injury, first of all, like don't start running and jumping on it, but make sure that you've taken care of it. Make sure that it's splinted in the right way. Make sure it can't move according to your doctor, MRIs, X-rays, everything. And then train everything else and study film. Go and study videos, go watch your favorite players, rewind them, slow motion, fast forward, do what I did every time that I got hurt, where you can learn from all of the people who are either beating you or who you want to emulate. Oh man, really? FUDS has no dedicated training group? Destin, Florida, no dedicated training group. Interesting. Is there anybody out there in Destin, Florida, or Fort Walton that actually like wants to start classes or do them? Because we are looking to fill our schedule. I have it right here, and I know it's not super official, but this is how I do my business. This is our list of weekends that we are looking to fill with clinics. We're going to New York in a week and a half. We're going to Ozark. I'm trying to lock in San Francisco. Grand Sands, we're seeing if we can do something at the Dino in Hawaii, if anybody's going. And of course, our camps in St. Pete and Grand Sands and Salt Lake City. So we got a lot of cities coming up. But if you want us to put you on that list, you got to get in touch with me. Make sure that you know that I know that you guys want some training. San Antonio. So Jason, in San Antonio, you don't have an adult training group. Jason? What facility are you at? Is that? It's not 410. I forget the name of the facility that Texas Beach Volleyball runs out of. It's like right in the back of a bar. Really nice facility, but there's no adult training group there. I find that hard to believe. I'm not calling you a liar, but I find it hard to believe. Sideliners, yeah, that's a spot. No one's coaching the adults, so you guys just have like 4s and 6s leagues probably, and then like 2-on-2 tournaments on the side. 210, that's what I meant. Yeah, 210 beach. Cool. Well, Jason, are you somebody who wants to have a training group? Like, is that something that you would be interested in building? Because if there's a juniors club there, that means that there are coaches. And whether they're better player than you or not, like sometimes coaches aren't the best players, sometimes they are. But it doesn't mean that you can't learn and get better from them, right? A coach is just an outside eye who's putting in balls and hopefully designing a great practice and creating an environment where you can get better. You don't need a magical, like savant genius to be your coach. You need someone who can keep you going, who can pick you up when you're down, who can offer support and ask you really good questions. I've had some young coaches work for us from time to time, and I said, you don't have to worry about telling about like what you know or how much they think you know. You just need to be able to ask good questions as a coach. So that's a side note. But Jason, all the coaches are all your buddies, which means that you would probably they would all probably want to be in that training group. So you guys are thinking of getting like an outside coach probably. But I think even if you say, hey, we're going to do this, Jason, and I want to challenge you right now to go ahead and do it and say, at this time, on this day, we're doing reps, right? Not play, not, hey, come out and play, or hey, come out, we're going to do KOB, or we're going to get 4. You max out at 10 spots and say, we're going to do reps. Then go to our YouTube channel, look under the drills playlist, and then pick 2 or 3 of those drills to do each one for 20 minutes. You've got an hour of solid practice, and I guarantee you guys are going to be better because of it instead of just playing. Playing is good. Playing is very important. Playing helps you solve problems. But you have to be able to execute when you need to execute. So, Jason, I'm going to message you. Jason, can you DM me right now? It's either Mark Burik Beach Volleyball or Mark Burik on Instagram. Please DM me, and I want to follow up with you and see if you've actually done this. I want to see like a screenshot of you saying, hey, pick an hour that you're free and say, I'm going to do reps from 5 to 6 p.m. At Sideliners, and I need 9 dudes to be there with me. Who's in? And then just screenshot that and send it to me. And then just make sure you send it to all your people. And if you think that that's when they're coaching juniors, all right, pick an hour just outside that. And if you think that all your buddies are coaching the juniors program, pick the hour right before or right after that coaching session so that you know it's easy for them. Once you do that, Jason, create a Facebook group or a WhatsApp group immediately. Try to get them all in there. We like WhatsApp because you can remove people. People can remove themselves. Or you can add them very easily without having to change the group. I think like all the text groups on like on a Google phone or on an iPhone, you have to create an entire new group. You can't just add somebody new or just take out somebody. So go ahead and send me the screenshot and start building your WhatsApp group. And if it starts with 6 people, that's fine. The guys here in Hermosa did it, and it grows and grows and grows. And then somehow it divides because you end up finding enough people who actually want to train. And then the level breakdown happens. But since you're the organizer, Jason, you can control it. So I'd like to see that happen. T20S Grunt. I love you guys like YouTube names. It's always fun. It's so different than the Facebook people. I do not have a training group. I'm 43, and I think pretty much everything is for younger ages. We don't have tented sand courts. So, oh, you do have tented sand courts, so you get to play all year. Well, hey, first of all, T20's Grunt, if you want us to come to St. Louis, we'd love to, especially if you've got tented courts. So if you want to get us out there for a weekend, then that will show you who wants to actually train, who wants to get better. So if you want to DM me on Facebook or on Instagram at Mark Burik, and I will start getting that conversation with you. But the fact that you're saying, I think pretty much everything is for younger ages, does that mean that you haven't tried? Does that mean that you haven't sent a message out to like the 16 volleyball players you know and said, hey, I want to get reps, or I want to start a practice group this day? Are you interested? But you got to take those first steps. You know, a lot of times nothing exists because no one builds it. So go ahead and build those things that you want, and it doesn't have to be hard. Again, it starts with a WhatsApp group or a Facebook group and you texting them. So T20's Grunt, are you going to message some volleyball players you know, or are you not? Need a response from you there. Sauced, Brandon, hope your mom's doing well, man. Sorry to hear about that, and shoot me a text and make sure I know what's going on. I'd love to hear it. Yeah, sorry about that, dude. So back to business. I'll share like a little personal story. I've shared it a few times, but no, don't. Sorry, we just paused this. I'm not pausing anything. Okay. The year before a bunch of me and my buddies made it to the AVP, we made a decision because I was in New York. A couple guys, I think 3 guys were in New Jersey. They were dominating in the GAV tournaments in New Jersey. I was doing really well in Long Island, in New York. We had friends who were in Fairfax, Virginia, so down in Virginia, and we had a couple buddies in Maryland. And everybody was kind of dominating in their respective areas. And then when there came to a big money tournament, we all like would play each other for the last 19 minutes of daylight. And the only chance that you had to play actual good volleyball was at the very end of the night, and you're battling the light. So we made a little pact with each other. We built our own training group, and ours was harder than I think it will be for a lot of you, because we had a certain level. Like, we were all ready to be in that last qualifier match, ready for the AVP, and we just needed to break over that hump. So we decided, hey, it's going to be way more worth it if we spend a full day training against each other. We'll get 6 to 8 hours of good reps in one day, like high quality, high competitive reps against players that we should be playing against, as opposed to stomping people in a tournament, taking breaks nonstop, waiting for your match to start. Like, in a tournament, you're not getting as many reps as you could get in a practice. There's 0%. In a practice, you can get 10 times the amount of touches, literally 10 times the amount of touches in a practice that you can in a tournament. So we chose to drive extra, pay extra, sleep in each other's basements, whatever, to compete against each other and get like 8 hours. So in one day, that 8 hours of turn, we got, like, if you're saying 10x, in one day, 8 hours, we might have gotten 10 tournaments of experience in that amount of practice time. And the following year was the year when I made the push the AVP. Hudson Bates made the push the AVP. Dentler qualified. Zahn started coming up. He's coming up strong, but he was in the NFL and and VL at that time. And we all made this big push just because we chose to train against each other instead of just playing. So that's my advice for you guys. Tony, what's up from Tucson? How you doing? Tudor, Oncast, will you organize a camp in Chicago? So here's what we're doing this year. Tudor, we are doing a lot of weekend clinics, which is going to be 3 sessions, 3 2.5-hour sessions on Saturday. We're going to open ourselves up. If we come into your town, we're going to open ourselves up for private training on Fridays, and then maybe on Sunday morning, just depending on interest. Okay. So we are all going to do those on Saturday. So if you want to book us for a weekend, we need to know right now, because I said, like, I got this list, and my goal is in the next 2 weeks to fill out this list of weekends and make sure that we're all locked in. So if you want us to come to your town and you guys are in the US, let us know. It's going to be a Friday night, a big Saturday where we get 7.5 hours of training, and then maybe some private training on Sunday. We're doing that at Ozark, which is in Missouri. We're going to do that at Grand Sands. We have our full camps in St. Pete. We're hoping to do a little clinic at Fudd's, hoping to do a clinic at the Dino in Hawaii. I'm doing a clinic in New York coming up, in Long Island. So we're trying to fill these weekends. So if you know that there's an indoor facility and you want us there, we're booking our weekends right now, and we'd like to bring some pros and coaches to you and hopefully start that little training situation in your place. Let's move on to kind of getting your votes. Hi, Stamatis from Greece. Nice to see you. I want to know a couple of things. So I'm starting a podcast called Entreprenathlete. We're going to talk to athletes who have turned their sport or their sport career into a business for themselves. And I want to know if you could think off the top of your head, what person should we try to get on? First of all, message me if you know anybody who owns or runs a business that is sport heavy, like classes, a gym. I get a message from somebody who runs a parkour gym, a gymnastics gym. There are so many of these types of sport businesses that people have created, and so far I've got 30 people on my list, and I'm hoping that they all become guests. But what I'm going to start doing with Entreprenathlete is learning from all of these business people who are in sport. I want to know how they built their businesses. I want to know what's going well, what's going wrong, what the hiccups were. And for anybody who just becomes a viewer or a listener to that podcast, I want to know, or I want them to be able to learn from that. So the same way that I did with Better Beach with volleyball, like I wanted to skip all of the pain points. I want to make sure that nobody makes a mistake for too long, that you don't hang out making the same errors over and over and over and waste all your time. That's what Better at Beach does. I want to start doing that for sport business people. So if you are somebody who owns a sport business or who is thinking about starting a sport business, this is something you're going to be interested in. But I want to talk to you if you own a facility, if you run lessons, if you've become a coach, if you bought a gym or you own a gym. So please get in touch with me. I'm trying to build my list of people who own, run, manage sport businesses, and I want to talk to the other entrepreneur athletes out there. So let me know. 2 indoor facilities in Denver, Colorado. I would love to talk to Tom. That'd be great. There is a little kind of conflict of interest there, Tyler, because Tom Davenport, who's a great guy, he also runs volleyball vacations. So it just depends how comfortable we are with each other. Bringing a fox into a hen house or whatever, with going into each other's territory and promoting each other's brand. So there's a little bit of competition there in terms of business. So I don't know if we would ever be invited to Denver, although we would love to go there. I know that there's a lot of great players, a lot of great coaches, and Tom runs some really sick facilities and great volleyball vacations. So hopefully, but we'll have to see on that, Tyler. We'll have to see. Now, back to business. Are there any entrepreneurial athletes that you guys know? Anybody who owns or runs any volleyball business? I want to hear from you. I want you to get into my DMs and I want to talk to you. And we're starting those this week. So please, please, please let me know. Chris Hanneman. Let's get him on. Okay. You're right. Chris Hanneman. I'm going to write that down. Thank you, Volleyball Videos. Chris Hanneman. I think he would be awesome to have on. And I will get in touch with him. I might even have his phone number from a long time ago, but not too sure. Okay. Now, since you guys haven't mentioned too many people who own businesses in sport, that's fine. I hope some of you, and I realize that this audience, not all of you are going to be interested in the whole entrepreneurial thing, but this week we are also starting the Better at Beach podcast. So the Better at Beach podcast, what we're going to do is we're going to talk to people. It's going to be part podcast, part YouTube video, and part Q&A. So we're going to do a podcast and we're going to talk to them. We're going to film that. That's going to be on YouTube and it's going to be released as a podcast. And that's going to be about your path to getting better, like what skill you can do. We're going to talk like skill and strategy based a lot, as well as a little bit of kind of motivation. After that, then we're going to go into, hopefully with players and coaches, a match analysis. If the guest wants to do one of their matches, I would love that. That's what I'm after, to get like all the pro guys and pro girls and high level coaches to analyze their matches, whether they're big losses or whether they're big wins. We'd like to see how they think. And so if people are going to be generous enough to share that with a big audience, then that's going to be cool. The third part of that, so that's going to be only on YouTube, right? So the first part is going to be YouTube and podcast. Next part, where we analyze a full match, that's going to be on YouTube, and I'm really excited about that. I think people are going to learn so much from that, but that's only YouTube. And then after that, we're going to do just a live Q&A, and I think that that's going to be a really cool, fun, and for anybody who's a volleyball junkie, like educational experience in getting better. I know that I've improved a lot from the other people who have started their podcasts, like Coach Your Brains Out, Billy Allen, John Mayer, Andrew and Niels, like great podcasts where they talk to high-level coaches. And I learned a lot just by listening. And I know that I listen to maybe 2 podcasts per day. I'm a podcast junkie. And I'm like, man, I'm not even putting out the type of things that I would listen to, because since we're only on like Instagram and YouTube. The problem is we don't really get to give you oratory information. Like you can't listen to our videos, really. Maybe you can, but you can't like listen to our videos and close your eyes. We want to create that avenue of connecting with players. And so hopefully you guys follow us into our podcast. That'd be really cool. Andre, where can I join the team and how does one join the Olympic team? You're going to have to be more specific with that question, Andre. I don't know what team you're looking to join. And if you want to join the Olympic like beach volleyball team, then you have to get very, very, very good at beach volleyball and you have to beat everybody else in all of the national and international tournaments. It's really that simple. And you can sign up on like usabeach.org, I believe. It's something like that. That's where we sign up for all the international tournaments. All right. Well, guys, that's all the time I have for today. So if you have any ideas or questions or anything, send them my way. If you know anybody who is running or owning a sport business, please like send them my way. Throw them into my DMs, connect us some way, like message us both at the same time. I'd love to get them on this new podcast, which I'm super excited about. And if you have ideas for who you think we should put on our Better at Beach podcast, like who you want to hear from, let me know in the exact same way. Go ahead and shoot us some DMs. As a reminder, our courses are still going. Our December camps are sold out except for open men's players. We still have 4 spots for open men's players. So if you are an open level male player, we have 2 courts that we want to dedicate just to your level. And we've got a good group of guys already. So if you want to get in on that, you guys are the only ones that we have space for left at the January 2nd to January 9th camp in Florida. So get in touch with me. You can't purchase it anywhere without getting in touch with me. I have to send you the link privately. April 3rd is not sold out. April 3rd, we haven't released anything. We haven't released the booking. So that's going to come out, I think, December 12th. We are going to do that. And nope, sorry, December 13th, we're releasing the booking for that. And then, we're going to have a big mobility challenge coming up at the end of December here so that we can get you guys into shape for the off season. And my wife is leaving. Bye, baby. So if you guys want to talk, if you want to chat, hit me up in my DMs. Thanks for hanging out, and we will see you guys later on our podcast, on our videos, and on the next live stream. Later.